All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome everyone. This is my video for the full moon in Gemini. All right, happening December 18th, 2021. That was yesterday. I was vibing, I was enjoying it. So here's the video now. You can still tap into this energy today. The degree was 27 degrees, 28 minutes. Excuse me, 28 minutes. All right, so 27 degrees, 28 minutes. I am using it from my location. The high point for the Pacific location was at 11:35 or 10:35. I think it was 10:35. I want to make sure that I'm using the correct one because I'm going off of that location. Yes, 9:35, 9:35. Okay, Saturday 9:35 was the high peak of the moon. I hope that you had a free moment to connect and to pull down that energy and really connect with that. Full moon in Gemini, if you are Gemini sun sign, born in Gemini, zodiac sign is Gemini, if your rising sign is Gemini, if your ascendant sign is Gemini, really powerful. Moon in Gemini, really powerful, and everyone can benefit from the full moon in whatever sign it's in. You just got to check your birth chart, see where it lines up, where the planets line up, and just connect to that energy, okay? And I really need to make a video especially on that. All right. Now, this was a very special moon and still is because, today, if you're watching the video on the day after the 19th, you can still tap into the energy of this moon. I'll pop out the tarot video coming up next, so definitely watch that. All right. This is just a special moon for Geminis, especially if you know that your north node was in Gemini, the south node was in Sagittarius, and with that coming to an end. All right, so if you're Gemini and Sagittarius, I'm talking to you, okay? So the lunar nodes entered Gemini and Sagittarius in May 2020, okay? And it leaves on January 18th. So you still have January 18th, 2022. So we still have time in this energy right now where it's if you've been going through it, it's been a lot, right? Geminis and Sagittarius, a lot of like, okay, where am I going? Challenges with the North Node for Gemini, with the South Node, past issues, karma, just really hitting, right? And if you also had any other signs that were going through different kind of karmic and life situations, if you haven't been trusting your intuition fully, if you just feel like things has just been chaotic, you've been going through it, but it's going to flip now. Okay, in January it's going to flip. On the 18th, it's going to, around the 18th, sometime in the day on the 18th of January 18th, 2022, it's going to flip. The axle is going to go into the nodes and switching over to Taurus and Scorpio. And it will occur there until December 3rd. Okay. Actually, so when is that going to switch? Yeah, it's going to be switching over. Okay. So for Taurus and Scorpios, it's just really making sure that you're ready for that journey. All right. So this is happening for the North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio, January 20th, 2022 to July 2023. Okay. So I will put a post on that in the community page. So definitely look out for that. All right, so let's keep it moving on. Now let's look at these planetary movements. Okay, so I did a post already on this in the community page. So if you can multitask or you want to look at it, you can see that post where I talk about uh, the message for this full moon, right? And we know that the moon was the longest full moon for the year that happened, right? So that Gemini full moon was the longest for the year. It's known as the winter moon or the frost moon. And where I am right now, it is definitely cold. I could feel it, right? So the moon message is really based off of the planetary alignments, which I'll get into. But I just summarized it in this post on the community page here on Facebook. And I will try and copy. I will copy the link to it because I know some people might not know how to get around on the YouTube page. So I'll put a post in the comments so you guys can see links to certain things, and I think that will help out everyone that is viewing the channel right now. So there's many channels to go to. So I thank you for being here. So that moon main message or the moon message is to know your weaknesses and have a strong will. Okay, and that one, okay, and don't allow your negative emotions to overpower your love and compassion. So we're going to look at the different transit here, especially the most powerful one. Okay, the sun squares Neptune. All right, so with the sun squares Neptune, you really have to be aware of overcoming any kind of strong feelings to being overly understanding to someone where you're neglecting yourself, your own personal needs. Okay. So remember, the sun is the self, and the square is a challenge to your Neptune, your spirituality, your understanding, your ability to see things that most of us aren't able to see. Okay, this is happening at 6 degrees 59 minutes. So like a 59 minutes meditation on your sun, yourself, okay, your own personal identity and any challenges that you have with your Neptune energy of your psychic ability, your dreams, really to trust your intuition, see where you're going, where you want to go and why you want to go in that direction. Okay, so it's really focusing on that. So that I don't go back and forth, let me just read the moon message, and then I'll go into all of the different aspects. I added the Venus conjunct Pluto in there. Okay, so that wasn't a part of my main message. So everything else but the Venus conjuncts Pluto. But here we go. The moon message is know your weaknesses and have strong will. This is very important. We got to really look at ourselves and know what we're good at, what we're not good at, especially our weaknesses, and then improve our strength and really have a strong will to not succumb to our weakness, our negative thoughts, other people's negative actions and behavior, and so on. Kind of like ignoring it and just kind of keeping yourself going. Don't allow your negative emotions to overpower your love and compassion. And that's really hard. It's really challenging, especially if it's a moon squares Neptune, where your emotions are really challenging your own spiritual higher self, if you will. A time to connect your extreme actions, or not connect. I keep saying connect when I see that, but a time to correct your extreme action and reaction as they have severe impact on your surroundings. So sometimes we might get upset, get angry, and we'll act out on someone else's, our anger towards someone else, and take it out on another person, right? And in that time, we are making these decisions that are really extreme. Maybe we've made these mistakes before, we're reliving them again, we're projecting on others. Maybe others have their own problems, you have your own problems, but there's a lot of projecting. So if we can stop and say, okay, I'm projecting this on this person, and my extreme behaviors and my extreme reaction is now impacting my surroundings, right? So you're only seeing how it's affecting you, but then it could be affecting someone else even more severely, right? So then naturally there's going to be consequences for that, and we have to deal with the outcome of what that is, right? So sometimes we think that we can change up our words to suit our narrative, but it won't always work, right? So time to hold, and if it does work out, then there might be a price to pay, right? So we really got to correct. This full moon is like a completion. So you got to sit yourself down and say, okay, how can I correct my behavior? What do I need to correct? What actions, right? So time to hold your power. This is what the full moon's about. The full moon's about connecting to the power of that moon. If the moon is in a kind of chaotic state like the eclipses, sometimes you might not want to work with that, especially if you are new to working with the moon. If you, and even if you're not new to working with the moon, sometimes you just don't want to work on that, be working with that kind of eclipse energy, right? You can work with it in different ways through meditation, through deep thought, and just being still. That's the best way to work with the eclipse, is really using the aspects of it to look at how you interact with yourself, how you interact with others, whatever the issue, whatever the message, the psychology message of that astrology or planetary movement is, okay, planetary alignment is. So it's a time to hold your power. Now, with this full moon not being an eclipse one, it's a really powerful one, the last one of the calendar year, the last one in December of this full moon, this frost moon, this cold moon, based on your location. But it's this December moon, let's call it that, to really hold that power. Okay, a dual mind power. The Gemini energy is definitely dual mind. It's definitely multitasking mind. It's a talented mind. It's ruled by Mercury. It's a very strong energy. So you can pull in on the powerful, positive aspects of that moon, and just the energy and the vibe of the Gemini mind, the Gemini creativity, the positive aspects of Gemini, okay? And it's a time to find clarity and plan your future. So that's the thing. Now, plan your future is usually like new moon, but I felt drawn to say that because when you find clarity under pulling down, drawing down the moon, connecting to the energy of that moon, it's a completion. It's like, okay, whatever I've been going through this year, this is a completion. I'm going to end it. Like, that's it. Like you just claim your power. And especially if it's in your sign. And if you've been working with the moons from whenever you felt it's been chaotic this year, 2021, and really taking it in and making corrections for yourself, really, it's a self work, then when the moon, and if the moon hits in your sign or your sun sign or your rising sign or your moon sign, really take advantage of it and really make these completing healing process, not out of anger or anything, but out of love and compassion for yourself and for the situation, right? It doesn't mean that there's forgiveness there that will make everything whatever, whatever someone else wants, right? But it means that there'll be healing, love, and compassion there, and strength there, and new growth, okay? So it all depends on what is the best outcome. And we don't know. We can have an idea, but we don't know. But it's a great time to have that completion and just say, okay, time to start a new plan. Okay. And with this new plan, since we're still talking about the planetary movements, before I get into these five planetary aspects that you see on the screen here. What was I going to say? I was like, don't lose my train of thought. But with this new plan energy, that's where I was going. The new plan energy is to look at your chart, because if you're watching this astrology video, you're going to get into the charts. And I'm going to click back on my screen here to see it. Is that the Sunday the 19th, okay, of December, we're in a waning moon, and the moon is in Cancer, because after Gemini is the zodiac sign Cancer, and Cancer is all about compassion. So I was strongly feeling love and compassion, and especially where Venus was what Venus is working with on yesterday in the full moon. I was strongly feeling the compassion of Cancer, right? So from Sunday, December 19th, going all the way down into the new year. I have to go into 2022 now. The new year, where we're at Sunday, January 2nd, new moon in Capricorn happening at 10:33 a.m. High peak is going to be 10:33 a.m. It's a new moon in Capricorn, which is wonderful because we are in Capricorn season after leaving Sagittarius, right? So it's just a beautiful energy to really focus in on the positive aspects of Capricorn at 12 degrees 19 minutes. We'll get into that some other time, okay, in another video. But it's this waning moon process of going after what you still want, but the power in the waning moon is to clear out what you don't want. So a lot of spiritual work, a lot of magic in your life is going to be created on clearing out what is weak for yourself, what you don't need in your life, what is not good in your life, right? It's like kind of clearing that out. All right. So let me go into the aspects now that I've covered that. So let's look at the aspects and let's talk about that. Let's first hit up the Sun squares Neptune, and then I will go into each sign's horoscope. Okay. So the Sun squares Neptune at 6 degrees, 59 minutes. All right. And we have the message of don't be too willing to sacrifice yourself for other people's well-being. Okay, I could go completely deep into this, but I won't. I could be here for 3 hours. Okay, so definitely look at your character, your actions, and say, okay, am I sacrificing my happiness for someone else's happiness? Right. So don't be willing to sacrifice yourself for others or for other people's well-being. And this is also posted on the community page here on YouTube. All right. Another one is being overly empathetic, right? Requires deep thought. You're going to have deep thought of self-love and work and being able to read other people's hidden motives. So you really have to work on your own self-love if you're being too overly empathetic. And that goes back to the first thing that I said is not being so willing to sacrifice yourself for other people's well-being, especially if you've done that a lot. All right. Now, and this is especially for Geminis that have a strong type of compassionate birth chart, right? Or anyone that's listening, really, because this reading is not just for Geminis, it's a full moon reading for everyone. But if you happen to be like a person that is just too giving, right, you're going to have to like scale that back. All right. So this aspect talks about being used or cheated on. So this aspect, the Sun squares Neptune, is really looking at yourself and your relationship with others, but what you're spiritually going through and what you've probably even chosen to ignore. All right. So that a lot of that can be very, very strong. This is like a strong aspect for this full moon. Use your powerful imagination and intelligence to be creative in the work that you're doing and create a new path for yourself. So some of you have to, sometimes the cure is your job, your focus, the way you make money. So really focus in on understanding what you're doing, and the cure to what you need, the remedy could be something that you're ignoring because the pain of something else is too much, right? So you just got to get focused in on what is best for you. And then this leads you to being a pioneer, a leader for what is important in your life. Another thing is that you may see the world a lot differently than what people will see the world based on their ideology, their belief from their culture. So you might see a new way of doing things that is positive and beneficial to everyone. And another thing is to stay away from your weaknesses, such as like any kind of substance abuse that would take control over your being, right? And it's not the solution that you need. Let's move on to the moon squares Neptune. Okay, so the moon squares Neptune at, and I think I put the same thing in here twice, at the moon squares Neptune. Oh, it's the same degree, 6 degrees, 59 minutes. So they're both very strong. Okay, these are very strong aspects, right? So our emotions, right? Like we talked about, challenging our spiritual belief, the way that we see things, our dreams, our psychic intuition. All right, so this aspect is going to give us a strong influence on religion and esoteric studies. So, you know, it's going to be a need for a deeper spiritual understanding and even being a part of a group. So sometimes you can be a part of a group that offers you some kind of spiritual guidance and just an uplifting feeling, or maybe watch a video that has a group of people in it and it's very spiritually uplifting. That's okay. But you might not be able to commit to it in person, right? Because since 2020 last year, we've all more been online for our activities. So you can still be a part of a social group, but still be very much a solitary person, an individual to your own needs. But make sure that with this aspect, you don't go so deep into it that you're just like gun-ho about it. You're like, oh, this is it, this is it. And you just lose yourself. That's not good. So this aspect, you got to look out for that and need to balance any chaotic feelings inside of you. You can find yourself wrapped up in, say, some kind of religious group or spiritual group, and that's your full identity. But you have to know that you have to be yourself, you know. So, you know, if this is a strong aspect in your life, then that's your path right now. Beware of unrealistic desires. This can bring up emotions in your life of unrealistic desires that you have, feelings, feeling the need of being codependent to someone. So being unrealistic about your goals or your dreams can lead to things not working out. So with this aspect, if you don't have this aspect, you will be thinking a lot about your past mistakes and goals that you had that might have been unrealistic. You tried it, but it didn't work, and it's just the stress and frustration of that might pop up. With this aspect, there's a feeling or need of codependency. This can be negative and also positive. It could be just missing a partner or missing some kind of connectivity, or it could just be needing to work on not being codependent 100%, or, you know, in any fashion, right? So lack of emotional clarity, suppressing emotional needs. It could bring up emotional confusion, emotional projection. We talked about that before, projecting things on others when we really should be looking at ourselves. Um, and there's always blame on another too, but really focusing on self. Okay, strong empathy, having high intuition, need to escape your emotions. It could be feelings of that. Also, avoiding a situation, numbing a situation, conflicting, escaping, depression, a feeling of high creativity. So sometimes when we're feeling low, we could also feel a high creativity. So that's also depression, is feeling, you know, we all go through emotions. If you go through something really traumatic, it's like, okay, I'm happy now, I feel great, but now, okay, I feel sad. And that can happen in one day. You know, every day could just be the emotions of going through how you're feeling and really moving yourself forward through that, right? So, but when you feel these high levels of creativity, definitely go for them. Don't be stagnant. Don't be frozen in it. And write down all these positive words and stick them down, and then somewhere where you can see them, right? A feeling of longing for love. You can also feel that compassion. You could feel unconditional love. Another thing to mention about this moon squares Neptune is the need and ability to process deep thoughts, deep mental thoughts, and any kind of difficult human emotions that deals with the mind, you know, and this can make a person become a very talented, successful, helpful psychologist or life coach. Okay. Now the moon squares Jupiter. The moon is a fighter and a square is a challenge. Okay. That's the aspects of a challenge. And you have Jupiter that is like lucky and getting things done quickly and wanting to get things done quickly. So both of them are positive planets. More. Mars and Venus has both the negative aspects, right? Mars and Uranus are known for having that fighter energy that can be very negative and unattractive, but when it's applied in the best way, it's amazing. So this is at 5 degrees 51 minutes. So having that time frame of really meditating on this Mars squares Jupiter energy, people with this aspect are unaware of how their actions can affect others and manifest strongly and affect the lifestyle and surroundings of other people, right? Because of how strong their Mars energy is to fight back. But are they fighting back at the right person or the right situation or the right reason? And then the Jupiter energy is so forward moving on being successful on whatever it is that they're doing. So the combination of the Jupiter wants to succeed and the Mars wants to fight, right? So they're going to get what they want. They're going to do it, especially if they have the power, the authority to do it. They will they will keep up this behavior, right? Because this alignment is very persistent. All right. So this is a very persistent alignment, and they're gonna get what they want. But check this out. They they um they can use traveling and look at it as an adventure to see what it is that they want and the benefit for them, okay? Only for them. And they'll do this at any cost. And it could be very damaging to someone else, but it fulfills their own desires for new surroundings. Now, even though they're going through this, they can have this positive image, right? And a positive attitude. They believe that they can really tackle all of their challenges. And once they feel powerful and uplifted, yeah, they're going to feel like, yeah, I did some good things. I did some things that I wanted. I feel very positive about this, and I got things done. Right. And this gives them the energy to really start new projects, to, even take rest if they need it and achieve their success. And they'll take the risk also of succeeding and being successful at whatever new project they want to work on. They will also need to think deeply about their strategy, the way that they're going about things and how they utilize this square. So really utilize it in the best way to avoid making things worse. They'll have courage to even avoid any kind of accidents by rushing into whatever decision that they want to make. Now, it's very important for them to choose to really think twice before they move forward with any actions. And they really need to hear or really hear themselves and try to hear what the other person is saying without getting angry, because they might be taking what the person is saying in the wrong way. And then because they're so energetic with this Mars and squaring Jupiter, that they might not get the results they want. So really listen twice and speak once and really hear what the person is saying. But this is kind of a hard thing for them to do because they're so interested in winning, even if they're winning at the wrong kind of battle. They can be very successful at gaining money and property that they want, but they can do this at any cost. And because they have this talent to be creative and successful in groups and get a movement going, right? Based on what they believe in, they're going to go after what they want at any cost, but they can really gain the money they want. The power and property gaining is going to be very important to them and can be very successful. Now, sometimes what they're thinking can be very unrealistic, and it can cause them to aim for things that seem perfect on paper, but in real life, it's not. Their vision, their dream doesn't match up with reality. They can get to that goal or close to it. What they can do in their best outcome is to match their unrealistic goal on earth, grounded in reality, and then see which pieces of their unrealistic goals can actually happen. They don't know it's unrealistic, but maybe it will come through by someone else's life path. So you could link up with someone that's actually doing it and making it happen, and then you live it through that, but your other business is successful because you actually took the good advice of someone else before it was too late, right? So they really have to be able to be open-minded, and that's a true powerful character of a winner and a leader, if they can master their Mars squares Jupiter. Okay, there's great potential there. Let me skip the Venus one and go to Mercury trines Uranus, 2 degrees 38 minutes. This aspect is very talented and creative, especially with new technology and communicating with it. That your Uranus energy has that, and that with really pushing things forward and not getting held back. And Mercury loves that because they want to communicate and they don't want to be held back. So this trine is a really positive tool, and it's a harmony aspect to use. It's a good tool for tuning up your talent and letting the energy flow, and things will get more comfortable and you can develop more things and you feel your ability is stronger. And you have to also, with this one, know when to move slow and be consistent, and you'll meet your action. Okay. Yeah, I really love this because I really sat with this one and really did my research with all of them. And it's just powerful what comes to you, because there's many wonderful astrologers out there, and I know what I know, and there's always room to learn and grow, but sometimes we can all channel information and get it. So it's so important to listen and really take things in, right? And once you write them down for your own book, you can utilize them for yourself. I keep clicking my fingers, I'm feeling it. Okay, so this Mercury trines Uranus now, really, really good with technology, new technology, being creative, being very talented, communicating that. It's easy for you to form opportunities and to even receive opportunities and to grasp your understanding and get access to new technology, new development. And this happens for you on a daily basis. So this is a really good aspect to connect to for things to work out really well for you on a daily basis, especially if you need to have consistency or be motivated every day. It's a good one to really tap into. Okay. Also, very talented in utilizing their skills, right? For important information or needed information. Like say, oh, I need this information. It's very important. This is a good aspect to tap into so that you're always connected to what it is that you need. Like I said, it's a harmonious aspect that can be very inspirational to others also, and very good at inventing and discovering new things as well. And they have the behavior of arguing their opinions because they want to share so much with this Mercury, but then the Uranus is very much fighting back and Mercury wants to share. So just be mindful of the behavior of arguing over sharing your opinions, you know. So that's where they need to learn. So some aspects have weak spot. That's where you need to be wise, need to be wiser with that. So, you know, just know your audience. Sometimes trying to convince someone of something, they're on a different path. They don't want to hear that. And them being on a different path doesn't mean that they're wrong. They could just be there to help out someone else, even in their mess. Even in our mess, we can be helpful to others. Okay, it's funny, but it works like that. Okay, so they have a strong need to showcase their talent and skills, and also to exchange their ideas and share their opinions with others. Right. So we already covered that. So. Oh, almost forgot. So let's go back to this Venus energy, 0 degrees, 57 minutes. Okay, so this Venus energy, right? Um, this Venus conjuncts Pluto, this conjunction energy is very much neutral kind of aspects, right? The 0 degrees is it's a union, right? It is it's a concentration type of energy. It's fusion, it's coming together, it's a blending action, but it's also very neutral. Like it's just like it could go any way. That's how I feel like it is. It could go any way. Okay. So I like the explanation of Pluto where it sits back and it sees all the other planetary movements, right? But Pluto shows us the area in our life where our own personal, um, what we face personally, right? And our own power, our own creation, our own destruction. So we're really looking at areas of our life where we have to face it, right? And it's very intense, it's very powerful, but it has to do with our creation and our destruction. And it's the self, it's the spirit, it's our hidden self, our hidden lies, our primal energy. Our primal energy is like going way, way back in our DNA to our first ancestors, our creation. So what's primal about us? It's like that instinct that we really have to connect to, kind of like how animals have a stronger primal instinct than humans do. That's why it's good to have a cat or a dog, right? They can sense things before we can, or a bird, or whatever animal you connect to, right? So their behaviors will be different, you know. And notice that when things get really serious, the animals, like right before earthquake or a tsunami, the animals get quiet, they get still, they move to higher ground. And as people, we can actually get quiet, get still when things are chaotic. So we can really learn from that. And when we do this, we can just release, you know, with our own efforts, we can release what we don't need anymore. But also, when we're in this state of growing, we'll also have people try to provoke us, right? And try to get us riled up to say, see, that's what's wrong, right? They want to point the finger, so we can't really be worried about that. But this Venus conjuncts Pluto, we don't know where our Venus love energy is going to go. We don't know where our Pluto energy is going to go. Venus is about love, beauty, being, being attractive. Whatever a person is drawn to you by, there's still this Pluto energy of that self work that needs to be done, what needs to be faced, our power, our creation power, our destruction power. What are you creating? What are you destroying? And how does it affect your Venus energy of love, beauty, how you make money, how you fight to protect yourself, but also how you love and how you want to be attractive or attracted to that person. So this aspect gives a very passionate, deep, and intense feeling that can be very long lasting emotionally, right? This aspect is committed to a long-term relationship, very intimate. There's lots of intimacy here and very strong role in like a serious relationship. So this Venus planet energy is about love, passion, fighting for what you want, what you value, what you're attracted to. And the Venus and Pluto energy are both these signs in Capricorn, and we're moving into Capricorn from this Sagittarius season now, right? And these two energies of Pluto and Venus working with Capricorn, that's all about the stability of your life in this planet, in this matrix, right? These two energies is very much committed to responsibility, what you're committed to, and your promises, right? And there's another word too that I feel like I'm missing, but they're just very committed to their roles, okay? And the negative aspect can be jealousy here, right? And it and that's okay. So there wasn't a word missing there. I was thinking of lore and desire. Okay. So the negative aspect of it is the jealousy. So, and that's because there's an action that's not being taken. With this type of Venus conjuncts Pluto is not acting, not correcting the Pluto to get to the Venus, right? So for me, I feel like this jealousy comes from not doing the work that needs to be done to bring harmony there, right? And then this can be naturally, this Venus energy is so passionate that it can naturally express itself without even knowing, very sexually, being very attractive and luring and meeting its desire, right? Or someone might want their desire with you. So this is a very powerful and very easy to communicate aspect. So you can find yourself expressing yourself emotionally and communicating naturally with others, and they're receptive to your communication. This allows you to also read the room and avoid situations where it's not going to be beneficial for you to have this conversation. So even you removing yourself from a conversation or a party or a situation, it could be attractive to others because they're like, hey, I'm not really feeling the vibe here, but this person is like, I'm not feeling the vibe either. I'm not even going to be here for another minute. So that can be very luring and attractive. So it's just knowing your space and knowing that it's not for you. Very powerful, very empowering. Okay, so they can avoid any kind of unnecessary dramas and embarrassment because they kind of have the Scorpio energy, I think, this sign with really not embarrassing themselves by not sharing or revealing their feelings to others because they just don't trust people very easily. So that's really, really good. Now, what I added into this is just a reminder that we're heading into Capricorn season, so it's a great time to strengthen ourselves with the positive aspect of Capricorn, and to really, this will just help us to be in more balance with ourselves and to learn and to grow. Okay, so that's the planetary aspect, and we are what, like 38 minutes, almost 40 minutes into this video. We're 38 minutes now, so 39 minutes. We're going to get into the astrology reading for all the signs. So let me start with Gemini, okay? So with Gemini, you have the moon, you have the emotion, right? The sun is in your opposite sign of Sagittarius, okay? So if you strongly connect with Sagittarius, sometimes Geminis don't, even though it's your opposite sign, you can be attracted to some, not all, but it's really tapping into that fire energy in this season. And it's so is so important for fire sign, for air signs to connect to the fire, okay? Because it will really ignite and really heal and protect your energy. Okay, so Gemini, you have 28 degrees, 28 minutes in the 11th house, okay? So this is very powerful for you, Gemini, to, and I'm looking at, and there's like the Lilith energy as well, and the North Node energy. So really knowing your timing and knowing how to go about getting things and shedding things that you don't need and protecting your energy, fighting back, knowing how to fight back, and really tap into a strong, for Geminis, I feel like connecting to Venus is just going to be very powerful, going to be very helpful for you, towards you, okay? Connecting to your North Node, the head of the dragon, okay? Your ascending node, your north node, okay, to really increase your Jupiter, your luck, right? So if you weren't trusting your intuition, you weren't really tapping in to your blessings for 2021. Don't hold on to it. Forgive yourself, and just allow yourself to move forward. Don't allow things to hold you back, Gemini, okay? Being in the 11th house is focus on what you aspire to do, okay? Focus, what do I aspire to do, Gemini, okay? And focus on that and your group contribution. So being a part of a group, even if it's one group, if it's online or whatever in person, it's going to really help to help with your creativity. And maybe if you do feel lonely, if you do feel like things are just chaotic, because everyone feels it's all off and chaotic, right? But just focus on your 11th house of friendship groups, goals, and your aspirations, and really lift yourself and keep moving forward. And that's the power that you have, Gemini, okay? So am I going backwards? I'm going backwards. I want to go forwards. And some Geminis might be feeling the 10th house of like career, also what you want to achieve. Your mantra is I achieve things, right? Where the 11th house mantra is I aspire. You know, I can get this. I got this. Where the some of you Geminis might be feeling 10th house of I achieve, your outer world, your success of your career, your status, and so on. Okay. Now let's go. Let's move on to um, Cancer. Okay. So with Cancer, and I'm just starting it because it's a full moon in Gemini. So with Cancer, you have the 11th house issues as well. Some of you could be feeling the 12th house issues. That's why it's good to listen to the sign next to you, because I don't want to repeat what I just said. So some Cancers could be feeling the 11th house. And you're definitely influencing Gemini with compassion and love. Some Cancers could be feeling 12th house of I dream. So your mantra is I dream and I can make it a reality, right? That's your mantra. I dream and I can make it a reality. I dream and it is a reality. Your spiritual life, being alone. You need some alone time. You need to not self-sabotage anything. And review how you interact with institutions, say like your job, and how you can like move forward, transcend from negative situation. Okay, Leo, you have the ascendant, so you can be feeling 12th house or first house, which is I am, and you are saying to yourself, I am aware of myself, I am proud of myself, I my appearance, right? The way that you appear to others, you can work on that. Most Leos don't need to, because they're just amazing fire signs, so they can just really focus on the outward appearance and what message do you want to put out there, what you want to do for yourself. Maybe you want to have a new look, do makeup, dress up, whatever. Maybe you just need some kind of new look to lift your spirits, right? So you're excellent at that. So moving forward with a lot of first house energy, okay? Now with Virgo is feeling first and second house. So that your second house, if you're feeling more connected to your second house, it's your money, it's the things that you have. I have all that I need. I have all that I want. I have many personal resources. If I need help, I can receive it. So it's about the things that you value, your skills. I am talented. I can improve my talents. I can possess more things that I need. I have all of the necessities that I need. So you can step into that second house energy of that. Or you can also connect with both first and second house energy. Okay. Libra could be feeling first or second house type of manifestation at this full moon. So at this full moon, Libra, if you're not connecting to the second house, okay, like Virgo, you're connecting to the third house of Gemini, which is your mind, your mental state, learning, growing, siblings, communication with family, siblings. You know, it could be the I think energy. I am thinking this way. Is it true? And someone had that quote that I know that really is working on, you know, sometimes you're telling yourself, this just popped in, so it must be a message for Libra. Sometimes you're thinking one thing, but it's not necessarily the truth. Now, is this the truth? What am I thinking? Is it real? Is it correct? Is it right? Is it the truth? So it's the I think. Okay, so I think, and this is about your immediate environment in the third house. So it's your mental state, how you learn. What are the activities you're doing? Are the activities you're doing helping you personally or helping your relationships that are close to you, that are important to you? A lot of learning, a lot of siblings, a lot of communicating in this house. So is, you know, how are you communicating and why? So a lot of this Mercury type of third house Gemini energy, okay, playing on your mind. Now we have the Scorpio. So Scorpio is, you could be feeling a lot of third house or the fourth house energy. You're very private in the IC right now. So Scorpios are naturally private. And when you're in the fourth house energy, you're really looking at your home, your parents, where you come from, maybe where you grew up, where you were born. A lot of issues going around that. So there's a storyline around where you're from, where you were born, your family roots, your family, maybe what your family owned, okay? Because you remember you are a Scorpio, so maybe there's some kind of contract, someone might have left an item for you, something going on with the family that legally things have to get worked out, right? So inner security and feeling secure and not really overthinking things, okay? So a little bit of the third house, you know, is what you're thinking true? Why are you thinking this? Are you creating a story in your mind and then now it plays out into reality and you're like, oh no, right? So your mantra could be, I nurture myself, I heal myself, I care about myself. My inner world is safe, my family and home is safe. Really working on healing those kind of like inner things, right? Sagittarius, having the south node, having Mars there, okay, having the sun, because it is your birth season. So a little bit of the fourth house and the fifth house. If you're feeling the fifth house, it's very much creativity. For some of you, it could be very fun. It could have to do with children if you have children. It could be your romantic relationship. It's how do I serve others? How is my work benefiting my life right now? Because it's going to benefit you. It's I am personally creative. I am original. You know, I shine on stage. I shine in my own being where I am. I serve myself. When I serve myself, I'm serving and benefiting to others. So your fifth house is looking at your romance, your family, what's most important to you, and how you can creatively move around that, okay? Very much a strong Leo energy and a double fire energy here for Sagittarius to work with. Capricorn, you're definitely feeling, and I want to say that Sagittarius is definitely feeling more of fourth house than fifth house energy, um, based on my location. Now, for Capricorn, you could be feeling more of a fifth house more than the sixth house energy. Okay, so you can definitely tie that in with a very strong Mercury need to communicate energy. Okay, needing to communicate how you feel. You are definitely connected to any alignment where Mercury is. Okay, so the Mercury trines Uranus, it can be very important for you. Okay, that could be very important in how you. Let me get back to it. I'm trying to remember what it was all about. It could be just how you inspire others. You know, how you what is new in your life. So reviewing the Mercury trines Uranus aspect can ring very true for you at this full moon. Okay, and also just how you utilize your power overall. Okay, because we're going to step into your season soon. So it's really how you utilize your power. And the sixth house is I serve. Now, how it's kind of like the fifth house, but it's more on a daily basis. Not so much your personal creativity, but on a daily basis. How am I with my health, my work? my self-improvement. Okay, so a lot of sixth house issues that you could, a little bit of that, and even connecting to that Pluto energy and that Venus energy very strong for Capricorn. Okay, so love and compassion versus, really seeing the bigger picture and working through whatever issues that you need to work through regarding your creation, your being. How do you destroy things? How do you feel that you played a part in things, something not working out? And if you did your best, yourself, your spirit, the hidden things that you are aware of or you're not aware of, right? So that could be very powerful at this full moon. So things coming to a closure. All right. So we have Aquarius, and Aquarius is very much in a private state, okay? And just kind of want to really look at your Saturn, your power, your own personal power. So really trying to get into your own personal power. You also have the Fortuna, so a lot of luck here, a lot of positive energy for you, finding balance in maybe your money, how you invest your money, how you use your money, and just feeling it's a very lucky time for you. So really transitioning into this new year in a positive way, very strong Jupiter energy as well. And just finding a common balance between, okay, should I get things really fast and easy? Should, certain things will come to you that way, other things, will take more time to work out. And in that sixth house, it could be just dealing with work and your health, and finding your balance between your health and work is going to be really powerful for you. Some of you could be even seventh house issues of married and your partnerships, where your mantra is, I have a partner where I have someone that loves and cares for me deeply. I am aware of others' feelings. Where the sixth house mantra is how can I do better, feel better on a daily basis regarding my work, my health, or my personal improvement. Okay, so those are the mantras, because I didn't say the mantra, I don't think, for the sixth house. Okay, now for Pisces, you could be feeling some seventh house issues, which is the marriage and other people's partnerships, right? Or other partnerships, rather, marriage and other partnerships. But you can be feeling like a strong eighth house, okay, of Scorpio's house of maybe receiving money that you didn't know that it was yours, maybe sharing in some fashion, some way. It could have some kind of death, or rebirth of something, or your sex life, letting go of something that needs to be let go of. And you can also find a very strong Neptune energy, okay? And where Neptune is really much about illusion of things and imagination. So it could be negative or positive, okay, for you. But things that you will inherit, and tax season's coming up. So really look into your taxes and making sure that that's going well. Look into the aspect of Neptune squares the sun and Neptune squares the moon. Those are the two strongest squares for this full moon for you. So really look into that, Pisces, and when you're in the eighth house, you're not going to feel like you want to trust someone. Some of you, I feel, will see the hidden motives of someone else. I feel like some of you will definitely see that. All right, so Aries, definitely some eighth house, but mostly ninth house issues. Your eighth house issues need to heal, where it comes in with money, and especially around December time, Aries, definitely watch your money. Definitely look at your money and how you share money, how you spend money, how you let go of things that you need to let go of. So the eighth house mantra is really I receive what I want, I accumulate, right? So I get what I want, I receive what I need, I get what I need, I receive what I need. So it's mixing up the words of need and want. So you can use those in your affirmation, your mantra, like, you know, I share my resources in peace, love, and harmony. And that's going to be important for Aries, because that's not easy for your Chiron. There's healing in your any eighth house issues. There's healing that needs there. The ninth house, your mantra could be, I am free to travel whenever I want. I'm free to explore what I want. But you have to be careful around that, especially if you know your situation is, especially your monetary situation. So never having a negative thought about your money, but just being mindful, because the ninth house is about higher education, higher thoughts, very intelligent, very wise, travel, law, religion, writing, publishing, making money that way. So that's can be very positive, making money from teaching and so on. So very strong ninth house for Aries. So be mindful of that. And a great thought is really when it comes to big holidays and celebration time, how do you use your resources wisely? So definitely looking into that. Taurus, yay, the last one right now because we did Gemini first. So Taurus, you're in the midheaven. The attention is on you. So be careful what you say and do. but then the positivity of it is use that limelight wisely, and you have Uranus. So Uranus is your planet and it's in retrograde. Okay, so you just definitely want to think before you speak, right? And knowing that the north nodes, south nodes are in retrograde, so just using your words wisely, when what you think, what you say. It's definitely it's like almost like half and half of ninth house and 10th house. Okay, so it's just a mix between that ninth house of travel, and I feel like for most of you it will be just receiving attention on the work that you do and educating people on the things that you have done. I feel like you're opening up this education conversation of just being, revealing some fun facts or just sharing your knowledge. It could be talking about new things that you're working on, or halfway through finishing up something that you're working on that could make you a lot of money, could make you very happy. And the 10th house is your career. So it's a mix of both of those ninth and 10th house right next to each other, like a perfect blend of, I can grow, I can expand. There's no limit to what I can do. Ninth house energy. And the 10th house energy is the whole world is open to me. The whole world is my oyster. I achieve what I want. It's very much of the achieving energy. Okay. So yeah, so overall, let's recap. Overall, the message for this full moon is really a strong communication of communicating what you want with others, with yourself, and recognizing your weaknesses and being very strong will against your weaknesses, because it's like you have this twin power energy, right? I feel like Wonder Twins, like it's just like Gemini power, it's like I have your back. You have backup, and just recognize your blessings and all the people that are there for you, and your outward happy personality, and really getting back into that. I feel like for everyone that this Gemini message is very much, I got your back. You have an army behind you, you have friends behind you, family, a community, and we're pushing into 2022, and 2022 is like, okay, by summer, I've been saying this, by spring and summer of 2022, things are just going to get way, way better for everyone. Okay. And don't allow your negative emotions to overpower your love and compassion. Remember that. And it's time right now to correct. In the waning moon is shedding, letting go. I always say donate. I'm big on donating and charity. So give away things that you don't need anymore. Don't give it away out of guilt, because you're going to regret it. Just, slowly, give and release things. And this is all about correcting negative actions that we may have done in 2021 this year, and it's time to really hold our power and recognize our power in the full moon energy, and receive mental clarity, and know that your future is bright and beautiful, and know that you're loved, you're cared for, and that things will work out great, just focusing on the positive energy, right? So let's do that. And yeah, so that is the message. I think that I've covered everything. Definitely, let's do some housekeeping. I like to call this gratitude and show love. So definitely click like, leave a comment, even if it's emojis for the shy people out there. Share this so that other people can benefit from this message. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. Well, you're on the YouTube right now, but the community page on my channel to receive more information, because I'll do some posts, especially if I'm busy and I'm trying to make the videos and do everything else that I have to do. So or that I need to do. So definitely check that out. And I hope that you enjoy the full moon today. You can still connect to the energy. Remember, you can connect to the energy of the full moon the day before, and of course, the day off and the day after. And we know that some people can feel the energy of the moon a week out or 2 weeks before. You could feel that pull of the energy being the full moon. And, you know, even though it's the furthest, I think this moon was the furthest moon away. So it's just so yeah, just keep the positive energy up and know that this 27-degree goes to a 1, and a 1 is very powerful, especially if your birth sign is 1 and you happen to, you're under this Gemini full moon energy. 1 is leadership, is teamwork, working together. It's so many positive things. I'm trying to think of the other words, but it's leadership, it's teamwork, it's community, it's strength, you know. And I feel like it's strength, even the strength of yourself, and the things that you can do for yourself. It has that very strong 1 energy. Okay, and so does 28 minutes. It has another 1, another strong energy, and both of them together is 11. Both of them is 2 balance. So you're just looking at the numerology of it. But that 1 energy is what can you do on your own for yourself. And that's very powerful, very motivating, very uplifting. So, yeah. So I hope that everyone enjoyed this video, and I thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.